I had a job. I had made my straight A's, so mom and dad were happy. I was dating the best looking girl at my school and across town. My car was paid for. I had cash in my pocket. I had a 4 handicap in golf. I had freedom, and I had no curfew. Talk about green lights. Woohoo! I was an extrovert. I was popular. I was athletic. Things were rolling. So my mom comes up with this idea. She knew I loved to travel. She's like, what do you become exchange student? And it was between Sweden and Australia. And I said, like, well, Australia, they speak English. And shoot, I might meet Elmer Pearson on the beach. Let's go there. So, I mean, a week later, I'm on a plane, headed over there. Now, the family I'd met had said, hey, written a note, said, hey, looking forward to having you. We're living here just on the outskirts of Sydney. Can't wait to have you. Well, we got there, and the outskirts of Sydney turned out to be about 3 hours away and inland. I didn't have. It was a strange time for me. One, I'm trying to figure out what I was about, who I was not. There were some things that went on that I thought I kept tabbing up to cultural differences. Oh, that must be a cultural difference. I've got something I need to learn here. And I remember I had, at the time, I didn't think I was losing my mind, but when I look back, the math says different. I created these disciplines for myself. Now looking back, I know why. I became vegetarian. I was running 6 miles a day. I was celibate. And the reason I created those disciplines that I now know looking back is that I was spinning and had no compass and had no anchor. My feet weren't on the ground. I felt so lost that I had created disciplines every day just to, at the end of the day, so I could check that off. Something I did. Yes, that's tangible. It's permanent. I did that. I achieved that. Check the list. Okay, that gives me a sense of identity. Something happened about 4 months in where the family wanted me to call them Mum and Pup. And up until that point, all the things that I thought were strange going on, I was always like, I don't think I agree with that, but maybe I do. Maybe it's a cultural difference. Well, when I got asked to call them Mom and Dad, it was clear. It wasn't an intellectual thought. Clear to me. Thank you, but no thank you. No, I've got one Mom and Dad. That's the only person I'm calling Mom and Dad. So I was very clear. No, we'll not call you that. I will call you by your first names or Mr. and Mrs., but not Mom and Dad. It was very clear. It was like, that gave me such identity and strength to have something without having to check with my own mom and dad or friends to go, hey, is this what I should decide? But to have the clarity and the judgment to say, that won't fly. I've got one mom and dad. That's not negotiable. Gave me a sense of self. It gave me a sense of stance, 2 legs to stand on. It gave me agency. I still stayed there for quite some time. I wrote 14, 15, 16-page letters to my friends, but mostly to myself. And I would return letters to myself with another 14-page letter. So I was still spinning, but I was forced into the Socratic dialogue. I was forced into the long days and the night of going, you have no other option. Now, I've been asked, but why didn't you just come back home? You read the story, people go, geez, I would have come back home. No, before I left, I didn't sign a contract that said I wouldn't come home like the Rotary Club wanted me to do, but I did give a handshake on it. And I had a bit of pride that I think I got from my dad in living up to that handshake. And so coming home to me was never an option. So once I said, that's inevitable, Matthew, you're not going back. That's not an option. Relatively, I said, there must be a prize at the end of this. If I can endure this, if I can go through this sacrifice, I got a hunch that there's something in it for me on the other side. And my hunch was correct. I completely lost my barometer over there. I was lost, wondering, frustrated. I had, sleepless nights, dropped tears, confused, didn't know who I was, was having trouble figuring out who I wasn't. But it forced me to look inside and go, okay, well, this is what I am about, and this is what I'm not. That time of not saying, of telling them I'm not going to call you mom and dad, that was me saying, no, that I won't do. I needed something black and white. I needed something clear. And it was the first nugget I got. And it was about 4 months in that gave me strength to go, yeah, now if I just out endure this thing, I started to actually get a little bit of honor and pride with every single day that I did it, and I was marking them down. And with each time of the day, my number, I'm here 35 days, I'm here 65 days, I'm here 94 days. I kept getting a little more pride, like, oh, with each day, I'm getting stronger because I'm adding up more days. I'm breaking records. You know what I mean? The bigger this number gets, the more days I stay and go through this, the bigger the prize is on the other side. And it was.